I'm joined now by Zac Goldsmith, Richmond Park's MP, to discuss some of the latest issues affecting the community. Zac, first of all, Heathrow, the Labour Party has now announced that even it's reviewing its policy on airport expansion. Is that the final nail in the coffin for a third runway at Heathrow?
It's good news that Labour are reviewing their policy on the third runway, and it's much needed. It's an outdated policy and it's going to have to change at some point, so that's good news. But the big issue for the moment is night flights. We have effectively got rid of, if not postponed, the third runway, but the night flight regime comes to an end at the end of this year. So we have to make sure, and this will require all of us, all the local MPs, all local councillors, all local residents and the wider campaigning group, absolutely make sure that the new regime is better than the current regime. We certainly don't want things to get worse. And that means making sure that the consultation goes to the right people, not just a very small pocket, but absolutely everyone under the flight path, and that the questions are correct. And that way we'll get the right answers.
There's been a huge amount of controversy on Thames Water's plans to build a super sewer on the Barn Elms playing field site. What's your view on the issue?
I mean, first of all, I'm a fan of the project, the super sewer project. I think it's a good thing that we should be doing everything we can to massively reduce pollution into the River Thames. I think most people would accept that, and it's timely, it needs to happen, and we should support it. The issue relates to the localities. Where are they going to put the main shafts? And the problem with Barn Elms is that it's a very, very valuable greenfield site. It's valuable from the point of view of providing the community with an amazing sports asset, an outdoor asset, really heavily used by people from a number of different boroughs, and we need to protect it if at all possible. So my argument with Thames Water is that they've got to prove, absolutely prove to the community, to local councillors and MPs, that this is the only viable site, and they haven't yet done that. If they do, then I would personally support them, because I think the bigger project is more important. But they haven't done that, and I don't think they'll be able to do that because there are so many other alternatives.
Now, Zac, Richmond Park has been announced as part of the Olympic cycling route. What's your reaction to the news?
Well, I think it's good news that Richmond Park's going to play a role in the Olympics. I think most people here would probably agree with that. It is an opportunity for us to really showcase something which is incredibly special. Richmond Park is the jewel in the crown. It's the greatest of the royal parks. The royal parks themselves are an amazing asset for London, for the country as a whole, and the eyes of the world will be looking at something truly magnificent, which is a good thing for us.
And finally, Zac, it would be criminal if I didn't ask you at least one question about the budget. It's come into some criticism from environmental groups. Have the government gone far enough?
I mean, the flagship green policy of the government is the Green Investment Bank. That has always been the big idea, and there was a big debate over the last few months about whether or not it would be a bank able to issue bonds and raise debt effectively and leverage vast sums of money, or whether it would be a static government fund, £2 or £3 billion. What the government has come up with is something which is closer to the former than the latter, but it's not far enough in my view, and I said so in my speech too during the debate. I think that we should be really ambitious. I think that if we don't establish a proper, large, functioning green investment bank now, we will be missing out on one of the great economic opportunities of all time, and it'll be harder to wean ourselves off dependence on fossil fuels, and it'll be harder to cut emissions. So I think we're halfway there. It's better than all the rumours preceding the budget, so I'm relieved up to a point, but I'd like to see the government go further.